What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video, and today is another episode of Road to Rise of Skywalker. Now, before we even jump into anything today revolving Star Wars, I just want to say first off, thank you so much for taking the time to click on the video, liking, commenting, subscribing. It means the absolute world. If you're a newcomer, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you enjoy any of the content that you see today, if you like anything that you see, please do not hesitate to leave a like, comment down below, and leave a subscription. The support means the absolute world. And if you are also new, this is basically what Rise of Skywalker is. We are reviewing every Star Wars movie leading up to Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, the finale of the Skywalker saga. So today is Episode 5. We went in episodic order, which means today we are reviewing The Empire Strikes Back. I'm very excited to talk about this one because this one it's my favorite. It is my favorite Star Wars movie. Before we hop in, again, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of Empire Strikes Back? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know why. I think a lot of us are going to be on the same wavelengths about this film. It's a great one. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I'm going to stop blabbering and let's just get right into it. So, The Empire Strikes Back. This is my favorite Star Wars movie, for good reason. It's a lot of people's favorite Star Wars movie. And it's just so, how do I say this? One, it's well done, first off. But it's so magical in the sense of, like, the story itself is just so good. We have A New Hope, which starts off really well. You're brought into all this lore, all of this mythology of the Force and the Jedi and all of that. And this one expands on it immensely. We meet Yoda, we go to Dagobah. Luke becomes more of a Jedi Knight. We really start to see that, and then, you know, the twists, the turns, everything involved, all together makes a very nice story. I thought it was written really well. I think the performances, again, by our big three, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, I think all three do a fantastic job. You bring the chemistry that they had in the first one, you bring it back for this one, and you just have a really great performance by all three of the main characters. They all did a fantastic job, and a lot of that has to do with the story itself, but they had their own moments that were done very well, and personally I really enjoyed. Another thing I want to talk about is just, first off, we start with the Battle of Hoth. By far my favorite battle in Star Wars. The AT-ATs looming over the snowy Hoth horizon. You've got the, I forget what those fighters are called. Those are my favorite ships in all of Star Wars, are the ones that Luke and the Rebellion use on Hoth. Those are my favorites. Just the whole scene of Luke almost getting crushed by an AT-AT to then rappelling up an AT-AT, throwing in a grenade and blowing it up. That was all done like with model work, I believe. I saw some photos about it, and that's just incredible. I mean, it looks like so real, and for the time, that is insane. Before CGI, before all of that, it looked great. It looked smooth. It looked like it could actually be real. And I gotta give props to everyone involved in the creation of that. I thought that was done very well, very nicely. And I also love the finale as well. The two biggest things I love about this are the beginning and the finale. You got the beginning battle on Hoth, and you have the lightsaber fight on Cloud City in Bespin at the end. That fight is very monumental in not just Star Wars, but film, because it's one that most people go back to when they think of sci-fi and Star Wars, is that final lightsaber fight. Luke confronting Darth Vader for the first time. We finally see the hero and villain fight against each other. And then, like, before M. Night Shyamalan was himself, you have the most epic plot twist of all time. Darth Vader is Luke's father, that in itself is absolutely insane. That plot twist, that story twist, I remember first watching it as a young kid, was just like, what? How is that possible? That's not real life. And it is. And we learn in the prequels and everything else how Darth Vader comes to be. And George Lucas, man, good job with that. That's insane. That goes back to the lore and the mythology and just the story. He had that all planned out, which is just standing ovation for you, George Lucas. You did a dang good job on that front. Just some stuff overall. It's just, I love the addition of Lando. He's one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars, whether it's played by, I'm blanking on his, Billy D. Williams, I believe. Whether it's played by him, whether it's played by Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino, the character in general, I really like. I already spoke on the battles. I love the Leia and Han love story. I want them to be together because they are so different from each other and they hold each other in check. And I really like that dynamic between them. I think that that's a very interesting dynamic that just works so well in these films because not only is it like serious, but it's also funny because you see Leia, who's all like, you know, very formal and she's like focused on the plan and all this, and Han just kind of a loose cannon, just kind of doesn't give a crap, but that dynamic goes very well. It really does, and it works to perfection, I think. And of course the line, "I love you, I know," one of my favorite lines in all movies. I'm sorry, you can fight me on it, but that's one of the best lines ever. As for bads, there's not really many. Like, this is my favorite Star Wars movie. I'll just say that up front. This is my favorite Star Wars movie. This movie, unlike the other Star Wars ones, this one I can remember as a kid. And I feel like every time I watch it, I am just brought back in as a little kid watching this for the first time. A New Hope didn't really do that. Like, I can remember that a little bit. Return of the Jedi, not as much either. But when I watch Empire Strikes Back, I am transformed back into a little kid, back watching this for the first time. There's just something about this story, about these characters in this setting that's just so fascinating, just so magical, like literally magical. And it's just great. And I love Star Wars. Is not my favorite franchise. Like I said in an earlier video, it's going to be Marvel and Harry Potter are my two favorites, and then Star Wars, probably. But Star Wars was what I watched first, before Harry Potter or Marvel. Star Wars was my big in to movies and stuff like that. I played with the Star Wars toys before I played with any other toys. Like that was just awesome. And this movie is the ultimate nostalgia trip when it comes to that. That's pretty much it for the review. This one's kind of quick and short and sweet because there's nothing for me to gripe on. I enjoy every aspect of this movie. I do. I love The Empire Strikes Back. Another thing I'll say is I do love the sequences on Dagobah with Luke and Yoda. Watching Luke become a Jedi, closer to a Jedi. He doesn't really fully become a Jedi until Return of the Jedi. But you see him start to become the hero that we will see him be in the future. I do also love the cave scene when he fights the Darth Vader in like the dream or whatever, and it's himself. It's kind of some really, really spicy foreshadowing. It's a hot, spicy pot of foreshadowing, like 100%. But I thought that was really well done. Again, I really love this movie. It's an ultimate nostalgia trip. I watch it all the time. I think it's great. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know down in the comments below. What did you think of Empire Strikes Back? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know why. I'd love to hear why or why not, because this is a really good one. And I think a lot of us are going to be on the same wavelength as this one. This one is the ultimate Star Wars nostalgia trip. But guys, that's pretty much it. Thank you all so much for taking the time to click on the video, watch it. It means the absolute world. But guys, that's pretty much it. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video.